Hello guys, this is your boy Hunger Spice Gamer coming at you with a deck profile for emancipators. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get to it. Alright, first we're going to start out with 3 Seekers. Then we're going to have 3 Researchers. 3 Analyzers. 1 Dragite. Unfortunately, I don't have the red one, so this is the one. I'm running out the other one. And we got 3 Guardians. And then we have 3 Suppliers. And we're running 3 hidden gems of spright. The reason we're running it is because it is a level 2 non-tuner tuner rock monster. What I like about this card is you can discard this card. You can normal summon 1 earth or water monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon. So it's a good card to have extra summons as well. Also, it says while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So it's a nice little extra synchro material. So we run 3 of those. We run 2 Doki Dokis and 1 Revival Goal. It's a nice little discard from the deck to get it on board. So now we're also running 3 Parallel Seeds. And here comes the spicy tech after this. Is we are running 2 Spright Carrots. The reason we're running 2 Spright Carrots is because they do special summon themselves. If you control a level or link 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon a Spright Carrot once per turn. This is why I'm running it though, because not only is it a nice little extra fodder for synchro materials. The effect for this, and it's a quick effect, is when your opponent activates a spell or trap or effect, quick effect, you contribute 1 other level 2 or link monster and negate that effect. And then if you tributed a rank or level 2 monster to activate this effect, you can destroy that card. That's what I like about it. Unfortunately, you do have to tribute 1 other, but it's a nice little tech to have in some situations. So we run 2 of those other carrots. Then we run 3 spirit, 3 reds. So on the reds, the reason we run this one is because it is a monster effect negate. So you can bounce 1 of these 2 off of each other, and also what helps is the fact that they're both fire. And we run plenty of level 2s, so it's also good to have if you just, in general, like if you end up having like rock on board with this, so it's just like, okay, well, continue plays and so forth. Onto the spells and traps, we are running 3 signs, 2 miracle ruptures, 1 foolish burial for the revival golem, 1 desires, and 3 dimension barriers, which I'm kind of considering dropping it down to, I'm thinking about siding these and adding in another desire and monster reborn for the plays. But the reason we're running 3 of these is, you know, for decks like Brent, like Despia and things like that. So they're good. So that's the main deck there. Now on to our extra deck. We are running Generator Transverser. It is a rock type, so it's a nice little extra fodder to have for rocks. Also, The fact is, this card linked and monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and if this card points to two monsters, you can switch those monsters. I understand I wouldn't do the switch effect unless I absolutely have to, so it's just a nice little fodder there, just to have, just in case. But it's more of a just for extra purposes. Um, I'm still trying to figure out. I still gotta get me some. I'm trying to find me some link fours to toss in here as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any at the moment besides Unchained. We are running Pit Night early, yeah, or Early, however you pronounce it. It requires two effect monsters. This card is pretty okay for its effect. It's a fire type for the fire synchro. So pretty much when a monster this card points to its effects, quick effect. When a monster points to activate its effects, except during the damage step, quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn and change its attack to 0. Also negate its effect. And during that phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was destroyed by battle or card effect and sent there this turn, you can special summon this. You can use each effect once per turn. So that's actually pretty neat. So it's a nice little fire. So as you see, if I wanted to, I could have Transverser point down to this, and if it's having its arrow, I can have other monsters where this points to. So it's just no matter how you want to run them. They were running one Hulk. We run one Granite, one Tornado Dragon, one Abyss Dweller. Now onto the synchros, we are running one Satellite Warrior, one Crystal Wing, one Omega, one Heralded Arclight, one Quandax, Formless Synchron, one Gigite, one Leonite, and one Reptite. So that is the extra deck there. So it's pretty, from, I think there's a lot of places we can do with these. There's some stuff I will change out. So once I get a chance, I will update it. But so far, I like the build here. But I plan on doing a little bit more of a better build. So we're gonna shuffle here. Um, we'll see what our overhand looks like. It's a possibility I'll break, because you're not always guaranteed a decent open hand. I know a lot of people probably will see this and be like, why aren't you running hand traps? Which, I mean, in current format, yeah, it's a nice little, hand traps are great. But personally, the way I would be running this, it will probably be more so just for fun. It probably won't be my competitive deck. If I do decide to make it competitive, then I will probably, toss in hand traps or like triple tactics or anything like that. So then, just literally just cut it, and then we'll start see what our open hand is. So Seeker. Then you have Researcher. So far we're off to a good start. Analyzer, pretty good start as well. Spright, red, so definitely a good start as well. And then the Supplier. So, Supplier, if a face-up rock monster you control sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, you can add from your deck or hand one Iron Pacamaru, or one card that's specifically list Iron Core. So it's pretty little nice hand. So I'm thinking so pretty much the effects of Seeker. If you control Emancipator monster, set Seeker, you can special summon it. Same thing with if you control a rock monster, set Researcher, you can special summon this card, and during the main phase, activate the top 5 cards. There's a lot of things we can go with here. So, me personally, I would start with Analyzer, in my opinion, in this type of build. For the simple reason, if your opponent controls them, Analyzer is good for going second because that's your Cyber Dragon of the deck, essentially. But I think starting wise, we would start with Supplier. Activate the effect of Researcher. So now, Researcher's effect, we're going to excavate the top 5 cards, and if you do, special summon a level 4 or lower non-rock type tuner. So we're going to excavate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Doki Doki. So then after that, goes to the bottom in any order, which I don't really worry about the order I put it in on the bottom, truthfully. And then we're going to do the same thing with Seeker. So activate Seeker's effect, special summon since we control an emancipator monster. And then we're going to excavate the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All you target will be Guardian. These will go to the bottom. So now we have 5 monsters on board. So first we would start with the overlay part of it first. We're going to overlay. I'm sorry if this is a terrible video. I don't have my camera stand, so I'm using whatever I can for a camera stand here. So we'll just move that there. So here, as you can see, we're going to overlay Guardian and Supplier, make a rank 4. To make Grenite. So now, with that being said, and then since we do control at level 2, we're going to special summon Spright. So you see. But for the most part, actually no, we won't do that. We'll take that back. So with Grenite, we can actually add a rock type monster from the deck to our hand. So there's quite a bit of things we can do here. But what we're going to do is we're going to detach Supplier. Pretty much which I actually kind of misplayed a little bit. I should have did something else, but it's okay. We missed a step, but it's okay. So we'll detach from the Grenite, special summon Seeker. Seeker, we're going to trigger Seeker's effect. 1, 2. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. and we're going to link to. And we're going to create a help. So create help in this situation. Trigger help's effect. Actually, well, again, I apologize, guys. It's been a while since I actually ran a rock deck like this, so I apologize in advance. So, you know, as you can see, we have analyzer, then we're going to trigger air analyzer effect. Grab the revival goal, since that's our target. Especially on the revival goal, essentially. So now we can essentially go into another play. Because there's also other plays we could have did. We could have, you know, discarded one rock monster, special summon a rock monster from the deck. Either way, we could have went with that play. Because I could have just discarded analyzer, but we were just going to just skip past that part for right now. So we have rank 8. Well, not rank 8, I apologize. I meant to say level 8 synchro. So we can either go into Omega, or we can create Leonite, or we're going to Reptite. And either way, it's a pretty good thing. Pretty good for the most part. For the most part, we're usually just going to excavate. So we're going to make 6. So sync for 6. Researcher and Golem. Make a Leonite. Then we're going to excavate. We're going to excavate top 5 cards, and then add emancipator to our hand. And pretty much, you know, that's pretty much what we're going to do there. So that's 4, 5. So we're going to add a Dragite to our hand. And the rest to the bottom, which is about there. So then there we go. We have Dragite in our hand for the most part. So now we can either continue. So now we're going to go ahead and just stretch summon Spright. So pretty much at this point we can go to any play here. Just about. So finish it up. We're going to use Doki Doki's effect. We're going to discard 1 rock monster, which will be the Dragite. Special summon a rock. So there you go. Special summon the serpent. actually where it's interesting here. Because now we can go to another sink. Sink for another 6. Which is going to be reptite. If we're going to trigger reptite's effect. Same thing, same difference. Excavate. Excavate the top 5 cards. If you do, start summon a excavator rock monster in defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this situation, we're going to go with we're gonna go with Seeker. Start summon Seeker. So there we go. So there's Seeker. Now we can actually sink for 8. So sink these 2. To either make Crystal Wing, Dragite, or Omega. In this case, we're going to make I think just depending on the situation, it would matter. Just depending on the situation. So we'll go with Dragite in this situation. Just in case, like if we were going against like Branded, and then we would trigger Dragite's effect, which would be the excavate top 5 cards of your deck. If you do, return cards your opponent control up to the number of excavated rock monsters. So in this case, we would technically we would only hit 1. So at this point now we're sitting on 2 negates. Spright Red, which is a monster's effect, negate. And we're sitting on a Dragite. So then, on your opponent's turn, essentially in this, on your opponent's turn, we would banish the Hulk. Finish the Hulk. Make Quandrax. Quandrax comes to Synchro. Immediately. Synchro immediately. For 10. Satellite Warrior. I don't have a Baron, so yeah. Oh. So there we go. Now we have Satellite Warrior, with Quandax effect. Pretty much at this card synchro. During opponent's main phase or battle phase, immediately after this card resolves, synchro summon 1 monster using material including this card. So that good stuff. So with us making Satellite Warrior, Satellite Warrior effect is if this card is synchro summon, you can target card your opponent control up to the number of synchro monsters in your graveyard and destroy them. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. If the synchro card summon card is destroyed, you can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower warriors, synchron, or stardust synchro monsters with different names running in the graveyard. So I would trigger depending on what my opponent is doing. But with that, I would have 1, 2, and 3. So with him being already 2,500, I pretty much have a decent board. But like I said, this will be your target here, and then by your next turn, you know, of course I don't have a hand because I pretty much use all the cards in my hand. Depending on what I draw, which would be another one, I can pretty much just, once I do use the effect that negate, tribute that, and then on my turn, bring this back, summon this, or just keep this in hand, either way, link 2, but this would banish. So now we have that on board. So essentially I could get a decent amount of damage in. It's just, it all depends on how you want to run the deck. Of course, you know, with nib being in the game, there is a chance of getting nibbed. So it's always important to have ways to make sure you don't use your whole hand, but it just depends. And again, I apologize, I couldn't give you the best video possible for these. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Again, I wish I had my camera. That way I could give you a better